Hey guys, it's Bear with the Camping Camper. I want to talk to you today about upgrading the vent fans you got in your camper. So I recently decided to make this leap, and I decided to go from just the regular standard fan in the bathroom and just a vent in the living room, which by the way is so tall, right about the biggest hump there, that I can't reach it myself. I'm 6'4". I can't reach the fan from standing inside the camper, or there wasn't even a fan there. Can't reach the vent. So obviously that comes in a little bit of an issue when you're boondocking and that kind of stuff. And so the fans that I decided to go with were the Maxxair Deluxe fans. They have the covers built into them. The covers will raise and run the fan. They'll run in the rain. They can run when you're driving down the road, but it take a little bit of clearance there because they do raise up when they're running. So, you know, the issue is that it should be a fairly easy install in most cases. There's only one downside to the whole project for me anyway, and that was the power. So just like I talked about in a couple of videos ago, where we should have a USB port in every room in the camper basically because it's so cheap and there's 12-volt wires that go through there, I think that there's no reason to put a vent where there's not a power wire. I looked everywhere for a 12-volt power wire in this living room and I couldn't find one. And then I went to fish a wire to the bathroom fan and I couldn't get it to go through under the roof. And so that brings you to a couple of different impasses that you have to do. Either you gotta take it somewhere and let them put it in, and hopefully they'll do it the correct way. Or if you're going to do it yourself, you got to either make a hole somewhere or you got to run a wire somewhere. Initially, I thought the TV antenna was really close. I thought I could just grab some power from it. And when I took it apart, it was really, I didn't really want to cut into those wires at all because none of them were properly labeled and I didn't want to deal with it. So I did end up going from the bathroom to the other vent. Now, under normal circumstances, the hardest part of this install is actually just taking the old sealer off. So you gotta try to get all of the old sealer off the roof, all of the old Dicor or whatever they used at the factory. You gotta get all that off. And then basically you put the base on, and then after you put the base on, you screw the top down, the fan assembly to the base. And so it's really an easy project as long as you have the correct size hole, which if you have a vent in your RV, it should be the right size. I think it's 14 inches. And if you have a power wire. So the way that I ended up doing it, which I didn't really like doing it this way, but I ran a wire positive and negative across the top of the camper. And they went basically from the bathroom. I disconnected the wires that were going to the vent there because the main 12-volt wire was there, and the ones that went from there to the bathroom fan were really tiny. And so I did go with the increased gauge wire, and I had two split offs there. One of them went to the fan in the bathroom, and one of them went up under the lip of the base of the new fan. The lip sat down over the top just on the roof, and then I Dicored the heck out of those wires in the base there. And then I went back to the other vent, same thing, under the lip of the base and down. And it seems to be working out well so far. I've not had any water leaks or anything like that. Of course, like I say, I did Dicore the heck out of it. I also, you know, did some other projects that's coming. We did some solar stuff and that kind of stuff. So we're going to be working on that. But I just wanted to concentrate on the Maxxair fans and what I think about them so far. Now, like I say, as long as you got a power wire, so you're just replacing the one in the bathroom, it's easy peasy. Okay, anywhere where you have a little fan that you turn on in the vent should be really easy to put this fan in. The controls take a little getting used to. You know, that has 10 speeds. It is reversible. You can run it with the top closed and have it where the air basically were to go in if it was open. So you can hit reverse with it open and it says it's bringing air in. And then you can close the top lid. And by doing that, it makes it more like a ceiling fan where it just circulates the air inside. So that's what we do when we have the air conditioner on. And what I've found that works really well is to, when we don't have power and we're out boondocking like we were at the Little Beaver up in northern Michigan, is I'll set the living room fan on high on blowing air out. And then we have a third vent that's in our bedroom at the very front. I opened that a little bit. I actually had to close it where it was just cracked, and it drew so much air in through that vent and down the hallway and up out of the living room that it made it pretty chilly at night, and it was like 60, 65 degrees. So it seems to work really good for what we wanted to use it for. So far, I'm really pleased with the fans. I like them a lot. I did accidentally leave the bathroom one on last night after I took a shower. And when I woke up this morning, granted it was open and it was turned on about 70% blowing air out. But I think it was open just enough to let just enough airflow stuff go on where I had a lot of condensation on my air vents. So you don't want to leave your vents open with your air conditioning on, because it does cause increased condensation. So the only thing that I'm not pleased about with the fans after I've put them in is the fact that I'll set it on auto. And like I say, I've got some solar on here now we'll get into in the future couple videos. But I've turned it on auto. That way, if it hits above, I think I got it set for 80 degrees, then the fans will turn on, it'll open up, and they'll blow air out. But the only thing that I hadn't figured out about it, maybe you got the answer. If you do, I'll leave it in the comments. But after a few days, they seem to turn off auto mode and just turn off. I did have a friend tell me he's got the regular ones that don't have the deluxe lids. And basically they have a rain sensor, so when it rains, they'll close and turn off, and then they won't reset. These, however, are made to run in the rain, so that's not the issue, I don't think. They must reset after a few days. I've checked on it after I reset them the last time up to 3 days before we came out here, and it seemed to be working after 3 days. But I'm thinking probably after 5 or 7 days it kicks off and doesn't work anymore. So I'm not real sure about that. If you know the answer, let me know. Like I say, I'm gonna put some pictures and stuff of the install here, and it worked out really well for me the way I did it. I just don't like the power wire being over the top of the roof. So far I'm impressed, and I'm a happy customer, and I'll let you know how it works out in the future.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.